Alright, so let's check out your video. The first thing I always look at is the running form. You can tell that she either has played soccer or gymnastics. There's something type of background in her running. But the first two steps are fine. They're exaggerated. But once you get to this white board or tape or whatever it is, her running stride changes and it becomes choppier. She's actually breaking her stride. And you can tell by her ankle passing by her calf. That means that she's not really running and finishing her actual run itself. So when you see that here, she's more open. Then the last six steps, she starts chopping a step down and slowing down, which means she's losing a lot of speed from very far away. Then from there, you can't really see it as much, but you can see that when she makes contact at the board, very negative position, but she's also landing on her toes. And that the toe jump is actually losing a lot of power because as her weight loads, her calf and Achilles is the first thing to fire versus her glute, butt, and hamstrings. Then from there, you can see that she's spending a long time on the board because she's so far away from with her hips. Then she carries through. You can tell that she's been taught some mechanics about how to pop off the board. The problem is she's popping off of her toes and then her foot comes flat at the heel position. So she's not really moving through the jump itself. Then from there, the knee drive is coming. However, it's not transitioning as good as it needs to be. So now the second video you sent, it just confirmed that there's some type of running form prior to this sport. And again, at the takeoff, we're going to focus more on the jump now. She's completely toey. Toe hits, the heel hits after. So that itself is her hips are going to be naturally behind about 6 inches. So then her jump is in a negative position. Then from there, when it comes to the landing, you can tell that the second she gets upright, she's already trying to do a landing piece. The landing piece is a part that a lot of kids work on, but they don't work on the flight pattern themselves. The flight pattern is where you're actually traveling. So she does have a great extension. Arms extend through. The problem is she's landing into a wall of sand. Her posture is completely off. And you don't really want to worry about that landing extension unless the takeoff is correct. Then from there, what we're looking at is, see how her hands and her feet are in two completely different places? If you were to split that landing in half, that'd be where she should be landing if she were to be upright in the correct position. So you can add 2 to 3 feet to her actual jump, which means if her personal best is 16 feet, she's a 19-foot jumper, right? So let's get rid of a lot of those flaws. So how do we fix it? What needs to happen? The first thing is you have to focus on getting fast on the runway. One drill that I would do for her is just have her go back to 120 feet and just sprint as fast as you can down the runway. What that'll do is get her used to running on the runway. Because right now what she's doing is she's running for half of it and she's prepping for the remaining half. When that prep is actually slowing her down. You don't want to spend, the last 6 to 10 steps slowing down. You want to actually have your last 6 to 10 steps getting faster and accepting the incoming board itself. The next part is because she's getting used to this run fast and then choppy steps at the board, we have to have her do dribble runs. What dribble runs are is a video that I sent you, but it's going to allow her to continue running in that upright lifted running form, which keeps her sprinting mechanics. Then what it'll do is it'll change her posture here at the board. It'll allow her to keep accelerating to the board versus using this as a takeoff point. It needs to be a place where you sprint through. So it looks like an 8-foot board. I have my jumpers jump and run through and not get to anything that's downwards or landing until they finish and complete it through that 12-foot position. Meaning, if you're not over the sand, don't start anything with landing until you're well into the sand. Then when it comes to that second video, it'll allow her to be stacked at the board. It'll allow her to be in a better position. It'll allow her to have her hips over her heels when she takes off. It'll allow her to transition the speed she's coming in with into her jump itself. Now, the other two drills that she'll be using for her landing is timing. Pretty much, she'll be jumping to a bungee, and that'll help her get upright and stay upright longer, have something to jump towards. And the last piece is jumping to bungee for the landing, because right now she's extending way too early. She's dropping. It's physically impossible to hang upright in a vertical position, kick your legs out, and keep that extension landing. A lot of coaches, I'm pretty sure, have told her to, extend and reach and reach and reach and hold it. Get rid of that. It's not working because she's falling forward. You want to focus on just being up tall, then bring your knees to your chest. That's the easiest way. It's the concept that's being taught to her is right. However, she's physically not strong enough. So instead of trying to get her stronger, just simply cut it in half until the weight's less. I do see her jumping 2 to 3 feet further really soon. Keep everything in mind, apply it well, and good luck.